Warning: the following video may contain... Oh, just kidding. We want to invite you to join us on Facebook Saturday mornings from 8:05 a.m. to 10 a.m. Also on iHeartRadio. And you're welcome to watch past shows anytime on YouTube. And now, let's get ready for the C&C Auto Show.
Hello, car lovers. Welcome to the C&C Auto Show, and I am Aaron Clements.
I'm John Ryan.
And we would like for you to jump in here with us as we're riding, and we'll share some information that will make your car, truck, or SUV safer, to make it more dependable and make it last longer for less money and less hassle. Our number one way of sharing that information is by the telephone, and that's on Saturday mornings, 8:05 to 10 Eastern Time, 706-863-5800. And you can also ask questions on Facebook. You can also watch us live at the same time on Facebook and past shows on our YouTube channel. We are listed under C&C Auto Show. And just before we fire this little puppy up, we'd like to give a great big welcome to station KCYL AM in Waco, Texas. We do appreciate you jumping in and riding with us on the C&C Auto Show. We are very proud to say that this show is powered by 15,000 Napa Auto Care centers across America. And to find the one that is just right for you, all you have to do is go to NapaAutoCare.com. And that's if you need one for a relationship as far as car repair needs, or you're having an emergency and you're looking for one really quick. John Ryan, is it time?
Yeah, I think it is. You ready?
Let's do it. Oh, no. Wait a minute. Hold on, John Ryan. Let me try this. Let me move this around a little bit right here.
You thought you forgot to charge the battery or something.
All right, now let's try it. Whoa, man, we already got one fixed already right in the beginning of the show. It is working good now.
All we have to do is fix what you touched.
Okay, along with answering your automotive questions, we always like to have a theme, and today's theme is none other than Christmas and New Year's, and we would like to tell everyone Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year. And we have a whole new, fresh Tech Tip quiz. And this Tech Tip quiz is, the winner will receive a I Answered the Tech Tip Quiz golf shirt with the words I answered this quiz embroidered under the logo. This is not one of those just printed T-shirts. This is a golf shirt.
Doesn't it come with a glass case?
Yes.
Or you have to take it out?
Man, it's huge. Okay, here we go. Adam and Virginia Smelts took their kids on a road trip. Before they got on the road good, they had to stop and get out for 10 or 12 minutes. Then they drove for less than 20 minutes, and they had to stop again for at least that long. They did this at least 10 times before they finally went home. Why did they have to keep stopping and getting out, and why did they finally go home? And if you know the answer to that, you could be a winner. And John Ryan, are we ready to go to the calls?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's go over to Richard.
Perfect. Hello, Richard, and welcome to the C&C Auto Show.
Well, thank you for taking my call, and Merry Christmas to you guys and for the service you perform.
Well, thank you, and Merry Christmas to you,
Yeah.
and we are ready to help. You just let us know what we need to do.
All right, I have a 2006 Toyota Tacoma, and the tire pressure sensor light is on my dash. I've checked all 5 tires, including the spare, and the tire pressure is, they're all fine. And I'm being told that the batteries in the sensors periodically go out. So the question is, when we get new tires, should we also replace those sensors in the wheels?
Yeah, Richard, that's a great question.
That's a beautiful question.
Yeah.
I love that one.
As far as the tire light, when you crank the vehicle up, does the light flash for, say, 10 seconds and then stay on, or does it just stay on solid?
It flashes.
Okay.
Ooh.
I just wanted to be sure it did flash, because a lot of times if it does not flash, that would be an underinflation issue. But like you mentioned, if it's flashing, that does indicate that there's a fault in the system. Great question. Yes, it is common that the batteries do, fail just like any battery. Bad part is when you hear the battery in the sensor, you would automatically assume you can replace that battery in the sensor, but you can't. You do have to replace the whole sensor, and then they also have to be learned to that car's computer with, of course, a tire pressure monitoring system reset tool. It is a judgment call as far as replacing them. If one has already failed, typically the rest kind of go behind it like dominoes. So I would recommend replacing them, of course, if you can afford it.
Tell them the drawback of replacing them, though. Here's the drawback to replacing all of them, and this is the reason a lot of people don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
We just did one yesterday. We only did one tire. He had one bad sensor not reading, and I let him know that the batteries could go bad on the other ones at any time.
That's right.
But the sensor, that particular one, was somewhere around 110.
Yeah, they're pretty
and that's
expensive.
not uncommon. You can see sensors range anywhere from $75 to $175 per sensor. So that makes the changing all of them not as attractive as it was if you're changing tires.
And the thing with that is it's not really a cool thing to get. It's nothing you see.
Yeah, it's not like you walk in and turn the knob on it and the music sounds better or the air gets colder or something that makes you more comfortable. It just makes the light. But it is a judgment call because you run into some that you may replace one and that thing go 2 years before another one goes bad. And then other ones you replace one and then a month later another one goes bad. So it's really, I guess, one of those things you can say, do you feel lucky?
Yeah.
If you don't. So judgment call.
There's no way of testing them when you change the tires?
There is a way of testing them, but it will just simply report to it or it will not report to the tool. Right. It won't tell you any kind of battery life or anything like that in the sensor, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly that is supposed to come.
Yeah, and the normal life expectancy of these batteries when they first started was something like, what was it, like 4 years?
Yeah, 3 to 4 years.
But we're seeing them 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, on some of them, and some of them longer. But you got to figure sooner or later it'll go out. My thoughts are is if you got a vehicle that's roughly 5 to 10 years old and you're putting tires on it and you want that light to stay out and not have any problems later on and plan to keep the vehicle, I'd probably go ahead and replace them all and just get it over with so you don't have to. But it's not a must. You could do them one at a time if you wanted to. And the labor to do it is not terrible.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So that's one of those judgment calls that you would need to make. Not a safety item other than they do save lives and they have been a really good system. But it's not something that'll cause you to break down on the road or have any kind of issue if that battery does go dead.
Right.
So a piece of black tape is a lot cheaper.
Well, I don't like even on a anti-lock brake system or airbag system or TPMS, I don't like to use the tape because what that's doing is every time you get in a car, you have that little amber light, and it's warning you, hey, my tire pressure monitor system's not working. I believe I'll do a walk around on my car. And it's just a little reminder that it don't work. So I would leave it on if you had the issue and it was staying on and the system not working.
I'd throw them all away, honestly. No, I'm just kidding.
No, they've been good. That's been a really good system.
Yeah, they're fun to work on too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, and I also want to wish you a very happy and healthy New Year.
Thank you, and you also.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Number to call, 706-863-5800. John Ryan, we have someone on the line who may have an answer to the Tech Tip quiz.
Yeah.
But we have a drawback.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take a break first.
Yeah.
So we would need to do that. And then when we get back,
how about this? Since we got about a minute, read the Tech Tip quiz real quick.
Hey, that's a great idea. That's perfect. Okay. Adam and Virginia Smelts took their kids on a road trip before they got on the road good. They had to stop and get out for 10 or 12 minutes. They drove for less than 20 minutes, and they had to stop again and get out for about that long. They did this at least 10 times, and finally they went home. Why did they have to keep stopping and getting out, and why did they finally go home? If you know the answer to that Tech Tip quiz, like there's a chance that John that's on hold may know that answer, then all you have to do is give us a call, 706-863-5800, and we'll be taking that break. Now, when we return, we will be talking more about Christmas tips and things that you can do on going to different events during the holiday season. And we'll do that and more as soon as we return with the C&C Auto Show.
We
All right, back with you with the C&C Auto Show. Here's a tip. Check your car seat for those that have children in car seats. Do you realize that 73% of the car seats are not used or installed incorrectly? So check it before you hit the road. Kids who have outgrown a forward-facing harness seat are not ready for a seat belt or front seat yet. They're safest in the booster seat and enables the adult seat to fit the seat belt properly. And even when children have graduated from the booster seats, it's still a good idea to let them sit in the back seat for a period of time. You're safer in the back seat.
I was also reminded and told that, if you ever take it out, say to clean your car or something like that, and don't ever just set it back in the back seat because you may forget, a week from then, and then put the kid in it and then realize it's not, secured. So
go ahead. Anytime you put it back in, go ahead and buckle it on back up.
Yep.
Real good. And know the correct way to do it. Are we ready to go to the calls?
Yeah, let's go over to John.
Perfect. John, welcome to the C&C Auto Show, and what can we help you with?
Okay, Aaron, I've got this one under the tree.
Whoa, is this going to be the one? Okay, so hold on.
Why they were stopping so much. Okay.
We do need to put you up on the stage, though.
Okay.
Okay, John, all eyes are on you. What is the answer to today's Tech Tip quiz?
They were stopping to deliver Christmas presents.
Whoa, he's pretty close, John Ron, but... Oh, wow. You sounded sure. And John, you really are close now. I mean, I wasn't just trying to make you feel better or anything like that. You really are.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, man. Okay, well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Okay, the number to call is 706-863-5800. If you have a question about your car, truck, or SUV, or an answer to our Tech Tip quiz, or just want to share a tip with somebody, give us a call. Where we're going.
All right, let's go to Tim.
Perfect. Hey, Tim, welcome to the C&C Auto Show. We're ready for you.
How you doing, Aaron?
Oh, just right. And I see you may have an answer to our Tech Tip quiz.
Yeah, I think the car was overheating.
Oh, and so it was overheating, and he had to keep pulling over because it was overheating, and he'd go a little bit more and overheating. No, that's not it. Tim, thank you for the call.
All right, well, have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. The number to call, 706-863-5800. And we are ready for the next caller.
All right, let's go over to Charles.
Hello, Charles. Welcome to the C&C Auto Show. And what can we help with?
Good morning, gentlemen. Once again, I'm going to try this new tech tip quiz that you just put out here.
Hold on. We have to put you up on stage. Okay, Charles, we are ready for you. What is the answer to our Tech Tip quiz?
Well, the wonderful Smith family, they were in the Christmas spirit, and they were stopping at houses and along with other people and singing Christmas carols.
Oh, Charles, you are so close. I mean, you're really, really close. You're almost as close as the other person was with the gifts. But actually, they didn't even talk to anybody when they stopped, any other families. They didn't talk with them or anything. Okay. But good try, man.
Looking at Christmas. How about that?
Very good try.
How about that? They were looking at Christmas lights.
Oh, my goodness, Charles, you got it. You are absolutely right. Adam and Virginia Smeltz left their house on a road trip at 6:30. That's p.m. They stopped and got out with their kids for 10 or 15 minutes, at least 10 times. And they did this because they were looking at Christmas lights. They would go to one house. And I encourage everyone to do that. Just ride around and look at the different lights. And it can be really nice to be able to do that. And, Charles, you are the winner of the Tech Tip Quiz golf shirt, along with the hat, the coffee mug, and all the other neat prizes. And congratulations.
All right.
All right.
I got the last, well, I ain't got the last for the year, but I got the last one for Christmas. How about that?
I like that. Very nice.
Thank y'all. Hey, once again, all the C&C Automotive family, everyone that is involved in the show, maybe that studio, have a happy and safe and Merry Christmas, okay?
Thank you very much. And Merry Christmas to you and your families also. Okay, and the number to call, 706-863-5800. If you have a question about your car, truck, or SUV, give us a call. We are sharing tips that have to do with going to different events and get-togethers that you may have for Christmas or New Year's. And, of course, one of the things that we mention is that it's a good idea to have an exit strategy, because and just realize that if you have a lot of kids in the car with you, you will most likely be stopping a good bit. Allow plenty of time, because you can bet that if you got several kids in the car,
right,
actually even one kid in the car, that you're going to get a little ways down the road and somebody's going to say, well, I need to go to the restroom, or I'd like to get something to eat, or you may have a diaper that needs to be changed. Allow for time to do all that. That way you don't get frustrated when you have to pull over a lot of times. And just when you see the exit, pull over, do what you need to do, get back on the road and go, and just stay calm and cool and enjoy the ride. Okay, are we ready to go to the next callers?
Yeah, let's go over to John here.
Perfect. Hello, John, and welcome to the C&C Auto Show.
Thank you very much. I always feel welcome when I'm talking to you guys.
Thank you.
We were talking about finding our car in a parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
I do the same thing that Aaron, that most of you do, park far enough away so that it doesn't get hit and you can see it when you come out.
You can see the dent in your door. It's in plain view.
You go all the way to the other end of the parking lot. But at Walmart, I'm in Thompson, so I shop at Walmart because I've got the floor plan memorized, and it's the only place I know how to shop. But other places are just as good. But that's all I can do.
John, I park so far away that I just stay at home.
Well, I do essentially pretty close to the same thing. I'm only about 2 miles away, so that's pretty close to the same thing. But I do have a problem. I got an 06 Toyota, and apparently every Toyota that year and since then has had the same body style. So I've learned that all Walmarts have got a flower up beside on the main sign, right above the market entrance. So I line up with that sign so I know I'm walking down the right road. But also about 85% of those cars are painted black. So very, very often I get in the wrong car, or I hear somebody trying to get in the wrong car.
As long as you don't get arrested.
So now when you go to his house, he's got 6 black Camrys sitting in his yard.
That's right.
Okay. The number to call, 706-863-5800. It's time for a real quick break. We'll be doing that, and when we return, we'll be talking about share more tips about Christmas and New Year's get-togethers and how to enjoy that, and a lot more as soon as we return with the C&C Auto Show. We are back with you on the C&C Auto Show. Letting your kids play with their new toys in the car while on the long car ride home is a great idea, but consider your child's age when you do that. Purchasing a toy or game this holiday season, you want to read the instructions and make sure that it's appropriate for the age of your child, because you don't want any kind of choking hazards or anything like that you might run into. If you have a question about your car, truck, or SUV, give us a call. The number 805-10 Saturday mornings. Eastern time is 706-863-5800. Just give us a call. And we're giving tips on things for the holiday season. One big one I think is very important. And you know I'm the safety person here.
Because you're the most dangerous.
Exactly. I've been to the emergency room the most. All right, if your child gets a bicycle or some other item, skateboard, any of these items, get the necessary safety equipment to go along with it. Get a helmet. Sometimes it might be arm pads and knee pads if it's a skateboard or something along those lines. But get all the things that you want that you need to keep the child safe while they're using the item that you buy.
Yeah, for sure.
And I found out something yesterday that it's not a good idea to do.
What?
These little, I don't know what you call them, the little scooter boards that you stand on each side.
Hoverboard?
I guess that's what it is.
Hoverboard.
And you
the ones that
stand
catch fire?
Yeah, you lean forward and you go.
Yeah, right. You tried one?
Yeah, I did, and it was not nice. Now, here I got something to admit.
All right, what is it?
Now, I seen it back there.
Okay.
And really, it's not a good idea to have it in a shop. I realize that. and after this happened, I told them we need to put that in somebody's trunk. And get it out of the shop. But I got on it when nobody was around. And I busted my tail.
You need to tell me what area it is, because I know we have cameras back there.
There was cameras, but I thought about that too. I started to go delete them, but it's too late now because you don't know what time. But I was standing. I was trying to move it around, and I thought I was getting where I could stand up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I got on it, and boom, that thing went out from under me, and
So
it was not a pretty sight at all.
So that's where this tip stemmed from.
Yeah, and come to find out, one of them seen me starting to get on it, and they ran in to get everybody else to come look.
Oh, really?
And it was too late. I'd done fell, and it was over with. So those you want to be careful with things like that. And of course, I don't know. I don't really know exactly how they ride those things.
Yeah, they do look pretty tough. I've never stepped on one,
but I knew that it was not an item.
I've seen some amazing falls on them, though.
Yeah, well, I knew that it wasn't a good item to have around a shop because I could just see a problem there. So I didn't think it was a good idea. Okay, if you have a question about your car, truck, or SUV, give us a call. And John Ryan, I'm gonna mention something that has been a new deal that's happened. Especially during this time of year.
What's that?
Well, and it seems to happen more to the ladies when they're getting gas.
Okay.
All right. So a lady pulls up in a vehicle, and she pulls up to the gas pump.
Okay.
She gets out, and this is and usually the gas refiller neck is on the driver's side.
Right.
So she gets out of the vehicle, and she starts pumping the gas. Mm-hmm. Well, somebody pulls up to the gas pump next to it.
Right.
And they squat down, run over to the other door, the opposite door, and they open the door, and they normally get a purse.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes it might be a package or something like that in there.
Whatever's in that seat.
And then they lightly close the door again. Then they get back in their car, and then they drive off.
Wow.
Well, the lady starts to drive off, and she finds out her purse is missing, and then she goes back inside the store. A lot of times they have video cameras, and they have a lot of pictures of this happening around the country. Mm-hmm. And they will see the video, and they will see the person actually pull up to the car, open the door, get the purse, get back in, drive off.
Don't tell me they're still in the parking lot, then they steal her car.
No.
Okay.
They're gone. So it is something to look out for. So if you get out to pump gas, it's a good idea to lock at least your other doors.
Yeah, for sure.
On the car. Are we ready to go to the calls?
Yeah, let's go to Fred.
Perfect. Hello, Fred. Welcome to the C&C Auto Show.
How are y'all doing this morning?
Just right. Appreciate the phone call. And what can we help with?
Well, I got a 1996 Jeep Cherokee. It was a Grand Cherokee. It's got the 6-cylinder in it and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My air conditioner outworks everything in the car. It's beautiful. But my heater don't do a lick.
Well, that's not good.
No,
I just wondered if you had any ideas, because I mean everything's hooked as far as water and everything.
The Bahamas, or
sir?
The Bahamas.
Yeah, that'll work.
Or maybe Miami or something like that, somewhere around in there.
Yeah, that'll work.
Fred, those Jeeps. You mentioned the coolant level is full when you take the radiator cap off. It's right to the top.
Everything on this thing, the motor ain't got maybe 12,000 miles on it.
Okay.
And all the plumbing and everything was done new when they did that.
Right.
So,
do you have any heat at all? No lukewarm, no nothing. It's just, is it as cold as AC or is it cold as ambient temperature?
It's just the same temperature as outside.
Okay. One thing, there's several tests that a technician would do. The first thing he wants to know is the vehicle getting to operating temperature? Of course, that one should have a gauge. Does it get to about the middle?
Yeah, it gets about 195.
Okay, so it's good, assuming it's good. The next thing they're going to want to do is, and there's several different methods of doing this, for instance, like a laser temp gun or even the ones that connect to like a fluke meter. You want to see how hot the heater hoses are getting, as close to the heater core as possible.
They're getting warm as well.
Okay, both sides?
Yep.
And you would feel like they're within, 5 to 10 degrees of each other?
Oh, at least. I mean, you can't really hold your hand on it for long. You know what I mean?
Okay, good. That was actually going to ask. I was going to ask you, how long can you hold them for?
See, it's not hot. It just don't take you long to feel it.
Yeah. Well, that's a good indication. That's the reason I ask, is because if assuming we have heat in the cab, the problem may be with one of the blend doors, which those Jeeps unfortunately do have. Does this one have automatic temperature control? Some of the Grand Cherokees did.
No, that's limited. This is just a Laredo.
Okay, so it's just got the basically the knob that goes from hot to cold.
Yep.
Those blend doors have been known to stick in one direction or the other. So what you would need to do is, if I'm not mistaken, that one you can actually get to through the glove box, and you can switch that actuator and see if you see it physically move or not. If it's moving and you still don't have heat, those doors, and I'd really hate to even tell you this, the actual doors can actually break off and fall in the bottom of the box, and then you'll have no change between temperature.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
And Fred, I wouldn't completely rule out that heater core, though,
That's
because
right.
you, with that being a cross-flow design heater core, that hot water may just be flowing straight through that heater.
Yeah.
In other words, not even being restricted, and you got hot water going in, hot water coming out, but none is actually going through the flues of the heater core.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think the next step would still be to see if the actuators.
Yeah, no doubt that's next step.
If you see the actuator, actually turning, and you see the door opening and closing, of course, then you would assume that there's not enough heat in the core.
Yeah, exactly. And then you would have to. Sometimes you.
But
can
you
flush
ought to
them.
be able to hear that door move too, and I never have.
Yeah, a lot of times it can be difficult because as the foam insulation that wears or that basically seals the door, it can actually wear away, and then the door doesn't really have anything to rest on.
Yeah, because when you switch it from just regular cold for AC to the maximum AC, you can hear that door flip.
Yeah, that one you do because that one's kind of close to the
I
behind
know
it.
it's vacuum operated too, because if I hit a hill right, it'll switch over to defrost instead of blowing through the vent.
Right, and that actuator, when you switch it, if it doesn't move, then you'll have to go that route.
Yeah. All right. Well, I thank you.
Fred,
All
we
right,
thank
Fred.
you very much. Appreciate the call. The number to call, 706-863-5800. We're still coming up with some tips to mention. And, of course, as you're getting out of your vehicle, let's say you go to the mall and may have a package or a purse or something like that in your hand, hold on to that tightly because sometimes this time of year people can run up, grab something, take off, and be gone before you know it. And also, I think it's not a bad idea if you're close enough to your vehicle to just keep your keys with your alarm part handy, just in case something does come up that you need it. Okay, the number to call, 706-863-5800. And John Ryan, where are we going?
And we only have about a minute left. Do you want to
Let's do it. Let's just, we can put them on hold if we need to.
All right, we're going to Tim.
Hello, Tim. Welcome to the show.
Well, good morning, fellas, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. And what can we help with?
I have a question. I just purchased a used Toyota Camry, 2011, and the car has 220,000 miles on it, used primarily for, interstate type driving. And I'm going through it, doing things. It had never had spark plugs changed, and I changed those, things of that nature. But I was advised not to change out the automatic transmission fluid because it had never been changed.
Hey, Tim, that's a great subject for us to touch base on. Do you mind holding through the break?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, I like that question. That is going to be a real good one. So we'll be coming back to Tim very shortly. We're going to take a real quick break. And we will also be covering some Christmas tips, New Year's Day tips, and just some plain traveling tips as soon as we return on the C&C Auto Show. And we are back with you on the C&C Auto Show. Instead of covering another tip, I say let's go straight to the phone calls.
I think that's a good idea.
I like that.
All right, we're going back to Tim.
Okay. Welcome back, Tim.
All right, I'm back with you too.
Just tell us real quick, what was the Camry used for that got so many miles again? You had told us one time.
Was it a UPS truck?
No. It was just used really to drive back and forth from like Pensacola, Florida to Charleston, South Carolina, back and forth.
Wow.
Sometimes a couple of times a week. So it was high mileage. And I'm not afraid of the car. I bought the car, and it's in real.
Oh, I don't blame you. I would really, a lot of times, rather have one with a lot of miles that's been taken care of than one that hadn't been driven very much, like a 10-year-old car hadn't been driven much, very low miles, and just driven very short distances.
That's right.
Because the one that's been maintained, got a lot of miles, no doubt, a lot of times can be a much better deal.
For sure.
All the records and such as that, all the oil changes on time, synthetic oil, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Right.
And you were trying to make a decision on whether to flush the transmission fluid. Is that correct?
Yeah. Because Toyota recommends it, and yet at the same time, I've been advised, don't do it.
Yeah, and a lot of people have that mentality, and there is some, I guess there is some truth to that story, but what used to be, everybody said, don't do it after 100,000. Well, that's not true.
Yeah,
After 100,000, you can do it all day long.
Mhm.
Don't do it after 200,000. I would say, and this is just my opinion, Aaron, you comment on this.
Okay.
I'm leaning more towards after 300,000. Now, knowing what we know now, if it's never been done in 300,000, you've done good with it, I'd just ride it out.
I would do it on one assumption. If you check the fluid and the fluid is not burnt smelling and,
I would do it on
almost
his.
black looking, then it's just a normal tinted type fluid and it has kind of like a not a lot of burnt smell, but a little bit.
Yeah.
I would definitely go ahead and do it, knowing that if you do happen to something have a problem, then you would have had one anyway. So good idea to do it. Now, I still wouldn't really recommend trying to change a filter.
It's got a screen in it, so he's good
And
there.
it's a screen anyway. If the pan's not leaking, I wouldn't remove the pan. And doing the total fluid exchange, have a machine hooked up to it that pulls all the old fluid in, lets new fluid go back in. I think you'll be fine. I think it'll help the transmission to last a lot longer, be a great service for you.
Yeah, and I lean the same way. I would definitely do yours. I guess the moral of my story is if it was 300,000, I'd say hold off. But if it's 200, I agree.
Yeah.
I would do it.
Sounds good.
Tim, real quick, just a little tip on that. You know, the Toyotas, they don't have that cherry red fluid. They do have a little bit darker fluid. So don't make that your only decision. If you pull it, even one with 30, 40,000 miles, it's definitely different than your typical transmission fluid.
And if a technician comes in and has a drop of fluid hanging off of his or her nose, you know they were checking the fluid correctly because the smell is important also.
And if you get some time, Aaron will taste test it.
Just
spray it by.
That's supposed to eggnog, isn't it, for a mechanic?
That's what he does.
All right, Tim. Good luck with that vehicle.
Great.
I know you'll have great luck with it.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, the final question is, now, I understand that doing that change out on this car is not something to do in your yard. You guys do that, don't you?
No, you talking about the transmission fluid?
Yeah,
you need a piece of equipment. You need a total fluid exchange equipment, and it's a really neat piece of equipment because as the vehicle is pushing its fluid to the cooler, instead it pushes under a cylinder. On top of the cylinder is a new fluid. New fluid goes in, it takes its place. You get 100% fluid exchange, and it'll be a great service.
And the transmission is actually what's doing the work. The machine is just an exchange device to where it takes the old and replaces it with new.
Yeah. So
really
flush is a bad term. It's actually a total fluid exchange, which is a very good service.
Well, so that 220,000 miles, you're thinking it might be a good idea to go ahead and change it out?
I would feel fine.
I would too. I wouldn't. Yeah. I really wouldn't think too much about doing it. I would just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We don't have any malpractice insurance, though, so if something goes wrong, we never heard your name before, Tim.
Yeah. No, I hadn't heard of it.
Tim who?
I know a guy with a Nissan Camry.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you,
Tim.
Back about 6 months ago, I won Tip Quiz, but never got by to pick up my stuff.
They all say that.
Yeah, we've heard that story before, haven't we, John Ryan?
No, seriously, I just have not had the time to get by, but that's not a big deal. I'm just asking.
Well, you come on by, but I'm going to tell you will be interrogated deeply. No, come on by. We'll fix you up.
Okay, guys. Y'all have a wonderful Christmas.
Thank you. You too.
God bless. Bye-bye.
God bless. 706-863-5800. Where we're going?
All right, let's go over to Steve, Aaron.
Let's do it. Hello, Steve. Welcome to the show.
Yes. I'm calling to give a couple of tips.
Yes.
Tips. Never just get into a vehicle without walking all the way around it. Each and every time you get out of that vehicle, and then before you get back in, walk around it, make sure there's nothing in front or in back or on the side. And,
somebody might have stole the wheels off the right side.
Well, it could be a small child, that came from nowhere right in front of that vehicle. And also, we always, I always tell our grandchildren or great-grandchildren not to ride with someone that don't have their seatbelt buckled.
Yes.
Because the slightest accident can become a major accident. if the driver doesn't have his or her seatbelt buckled.
Right, and on top of that, what can happen is people that's not buckled in can be flying around a car and hurt people who were buckled in. So it's really for everyone's safety, for everyone. And don't leave a lot of loose objects all laying around, because these loose objects could become projectiles in an accident. Make sure most everything's buckled down real good to do that. And you're definitely right about the other items that you mentioned.
Yeah, you can get into a habit of it, then it becomes, you don't even have to think about doing it. You just do it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, thanks,
but that's
Steve.
it.
Beautiful tips. We appreciate that.
Take care now. Bye.
Thank you. You too.
Are you saying it's not a good idea to store cinder blocks in your back seat?
Not a good idea. Not at all. Where are we going?
Let's go over to Larry.
Perfect. Hello, Larry. Welcome to the show. And what can we help with?
Yeah, good morning. I've got a 2004 Explorer. Some time ago, I had the upper engine clean out on it. It's only got about 50,000 miles on it, been garaged and not driven a whole lot. Since then, periodically, when you go to start it in the morning, usually, it'll backfire through the carburetor. Well, it doesn't have a carburetor, but a backfire, it sounds like it's coming back through the engine. There's one big puff, and then it'll die. It won't crank. Then it'll turn it over. Sometimes it's harder to crank it, but then it'll start up. And it's done it a couple of times in a parking lot when I went to get groceries or something. It also runs a little bit rough. You can't see it on the RPM gauge, but you can see feel it in the accelerator, that it's not running as smooth as what it was.
Larry, we're probably going to run out of time, but I'll definitely tell you what I feel like's been going on. When that upper engine clean was done, did they reset what's called the keep alive memory, or the memory of the car for the idle and everything?
I don't know. You guys did it.
Okay. Well, then chances are we did. A lot of times we need to go in and see if those parameters were all reset. There's several different things that can be reset, such as the idle strategy. And, of course, we want to see what the throttle percentage is and everything like that. So it probably wouldn't be a bad idea just to swing it by the shop, and so we can take a look and see if there's anything out of place there.
Okay. I appreciate it. I'll do that.
All right. Sounds great.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good Christmas.
You too.
And thank you. And we got a lot of other calls, but I don't think we really have time to go to another caller, because we are running pretty short on time. Do want to...
They can post it to Facebook, I believe.
Yeah, that would be great. They could post a question to Facebook, and we could answer it there. Or remember, catch us again next week for the C&C Auto Show. But we do want to tell everyone, have a Merry Christmas. Have a safe Merry Christmas, and also a safe and Happy New Year.
That's right.
Coming up. And we are just about to run out of time. The time clock gauge is on E. We need to pull over for now, but we will be back on the road in no time. I am Aaron Clements with co-host John Ryan Mooney. Our show producers are Sherry Moxley, Zach Llewellyn, Bert Dean, Bo Roberts, Alan Dean, Sandy Klein, and Cowboy Dominic Frito. And a big thank you to all of you that tuned in, logged in, and especially those that called in. And thank you for riding with us with the C&C Auto Show. We'll see you next time.